What's going on, Pulsicans and Hexicans? Welcome to the Pulse 369 conference. We are going to be your sponsor today, the DeFi Crypto Alliance, and we're going to be presenting on the DeFi Wealth Trust on how you cannot pay three-letter agencies all while taking profits on your crypto portfolio, and maybe be going into some real estate, maybe some oil and gas, maybe some business and mergers would be good to go into, and defer them taxes. That's the key. We're not going to pay those three-letter agencies, not until we do what's called self-enriching, which we're going to pay ourselves, and then we can pay the three-letter agencies. But as long as our money is working for us, the key is here, guys, that we want to allow the full lot of our money working for us and growing while not paying them. And so, guys, I'm Corey Geary. Most of you guys know who I am. I'm from the DeFi Crypto Alliance show. If you guys aren't subbed to my show, go over there. DeFi Crypto Alliance, Corey Geary, sub now. Come over there and support the channel. We talk about everything from wealth creation to wealth preservation, all while not paying middlemen, aka three-letter agencies. We don't like it. We want to talk about, preserving that legacy wealth, locking it in for our family members, which also this trust does. And so that's who I am. Who I got here with me is I always tell people I like to get people who are smarter than me around me who know this stuff, because I'm not the expert. I'm just the dancing monkey, right? But I get experts around me who understand this stuff at a high level, high degree, and then I lean in on their expertise. So this is who I got with me today, Mr. Chris Shakowitz. What's going on, brother? Why don't you tell everybody that's me watching today and, of course, watching the replay, who you are, how you got here, and how'd you get into like taxes, man? That's like a while to be working on not letting people pay taxes. Yeah, so let's start there.
Yeah, well, my name is Chris Shakowitz. So our company is defertax.com, DEFERTAX.com. And I actually was working at Intel Corporation for about 25 years, where I was a director of application development, and we did all kinds of crazy stuff. I actually built systems that integrated our customers' networks into ours, so we can do machine-to-machine communications around the world, doing transactions and stuff. And this was like in 2002, so it's pretty kind of edge of technology. And I've always loved technology. I've always been on the edge of technology. I actually retired in 2016, and I wrote a couple of science fiction novels, which are all published. And then I got kind of tired of writing. I was looking for something else to do, and I was selling a property in Santa Clara, California. I had bought it for $575K. I sold it for $1.7 million. When I was interviewing realtors, one of them said, "Hey, I know this guy who can defer the taxes on the sale of your property." And let me tell you, anybody who's worth more than about $2 million has got their top two problems. Taxes is one of their top two problems.
Yeah.
And usually the other one, if it's not number one, it's because they got divorced.
Right. That's a whole nother problem in itself.
Exactly. And nothing I can help you with. And we like to say the biggest destroyer of taxes are death, or the biggest destroyer of wealth is death, divorce, and taxes. We can't do anything about the death and divorce, but we can do something about the taxes. So anyway, I basically put $1.2 million from the sale of that real estate into a trust, and it's been paying me $70,000 a year ever since. This is like in 2019. And I still haven't paid a penny in tax on the sale of that property. So then fast forward, I basically am at this real estate conference, and I meet these two guys, Dean Bowinkle and Corey Geary. And we're sitting at a table eating lunch, and we just started talking. And I told them what I do, and they go, "Hey," and Dean goes, "Hey, can you do this, basically around crypto?" And I said, "Oh yeah, we can. It's a little complicated." So we started working together, and we figured out how to simplify it and make it pretty streamlined. So you can basically keep control of your keys when you're doing your DeFi transactions, and then still be able to essentially sell your crypto and pay no tax on it.
That's powerful, guys. So powerful. And I remember in that conversation we had, and I was thinking like, "Hey, can we do this in DeFi?" And you're like, "Well, I'm not sure. I think so." And that's when we basically put you in our program. We taught you what DeFi was, so you understood what hardware wallet was, how to hold your assets in a hardware wallet, or at least the keys, have control of your assets, and operate in DeFi, so that we could do this in the trust. and without any issues. Where most deferred sales tax trusts, from my understanding, they don't even understand what DeFi is, guys. A lot of times you go, hey, can I hold crypto? They're like, yeah, you can hold crypto. You can go buy Bitcoin on Coinbase. Like, what? No, I don't want to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase. I want to buy Hex on Pulse Chain. Right? Like, come on. And they're not going to understand that, guys. And so that's why we onboarded Chris, his partner, the trustee, and everyone who works over there at Deferred Tax Sales or deferredtax.com. And it's worked out beautifully. So now Chris is a Hexakin by default.
I do actually own Hex now.
Yep, by default, he's a Hexakin. And so, yeah, so let's go ahead and let's take it from there, where exactly how you can help all these fine folks, especially when the bull runs come in. We're anticipating Banana Zone to come up. In my opinion, if you guys watch my show, you know the Bitcoin and M2 money supply will be coming together here at the end of the month. From the 107-day lag, and M2 money supply is going parabolic. So I think Banana Zone's right around the corner. Well, not financial advice. Once again, go do your own research. I'm just a dude on the internet who speculates in his own money. That's all I am. But go ahead, Christian. Let's help these guys out.
Yeah. So at the high level, actually, let me go ahead and share the presentation.
Sure.
And here we go. I don't see it. Oh, there we go. And then we'll go from the beginning.
There we go.
So we actually have a website called DeFiWealthTrust.com, so you can learn more. But this presentation, what we're going to do is talk about how you can use this DeFi Wealth Trust, which essentially is this trust solution that we talked about, coupled with your ability to essentially basically be in DeFi and still be able to use this trust to grow your wealth without paying taxes. So you can basically, in this process, you could sell real estate and then go buy Pulse. Then, for example, well, actually, you can basically sell crypto, you can sell real estate, you can sell a business, you can sell basically any type of asset and then buy another type of asset. So you can basically take the bull run, sell your crypto, decide to go get into real estate, and then be in real estate for the next 3 years while the market's in the dumps, then sell the real estate, go back into the trust with that money, and then essentially go back and buy crypto, and all of this without paying the tax bill. So you can basically, which is what I just said, you can basically sell each of these without paying the tax bill. So you can sell real estate, you can go into Pulse, you can sell Pulse, you can go into real estate, you can go buy a business. There's really almost no asset you can't buy or sell from this trust. And the whole idea is this trust's only business purpose is to invest on your behalf. So it's essentially a business that's wrapped within a trust wrapper that then is in the business of earning you money without paying taxes. That's essentially what this product does. So you can buy and sell different asset types. You can hold cash down during market downturns. You can actually, this trust we use in many different ways, and we kind of brand them. You can either use it to eventually basically be your retirement fund that would, pay you out income. You can create a vulture fund, so you've got cash to go jump on a deal when you see it. We like to say in real estate, the real estate deal of a lifetime comes along about every 2 weeks. That's the joke, but it's almost true. If you know what you're looking for, you start to see those deals, and then you've got cash to go bounce on those deals. So again, Pulse to, okay, I think I hit a back button by mistake. So I know what you got to be thinking about at this point, which is, will this work for me? Why should I believe you? If this were real, why wouldn't I know about it already? I'm not a tax expert. Well, what you don't need to be successful. So you don't need a 4-year degree. You don't need years of experience. You don't need luck, and you don't need to be a tax expert, because that's what I do for a living. So what you do need is you need to be educated on what's possible. And that's essentially what our company does. Is we're in the education business, not the financial services business. We educate people. We also do this financial services, but we educate people on what's possible and then let them choose from what's available. Now, I don't have a huge list of options to choose from for crypto. Really, we just have this one trust or one other option, which isn't as good, which is why we always talk about the trust. But you need to save money on taxes and then reinvest that money. If you save the money and go buy a Lamborghini, you didn't really buy yourself anything. You bought a multi-million-dollar vehicle, because that money you would have made on that vehicle, let's say you spent $200,000 $100,000 on a car. Well, that car is going to be worth probably $2 million eventually when it's time for it to go hit the junk heap and get recycled. So the whole idea is you got to reinvest the money. You need to see how the big guys do it. So the people who are billionaires, they're billionaires for a reason because they were smart with their money. And you need to use the same tax strategies that they do. And that's basically what we're bringing to the table here. So my business partner, Carl Warden, he's the guy who actually started this company, and he's the person that I met back in 2019 when I talked to that realtor from the story earlier. He's been a real estate investor since he was 19 years old. He runs our registered investment advisory firm. Got a wife and 4 kids and lives in Tahoe on what we call the good side, the Nevada side. He's done 19 personal 1031 exchanges, and he's the founder of our company. So I've been a real estate investor. I've done 5 multi-million-dollar 1031 exchanges. So I went from a 8-unit apartment building to an 85-unit apartment building before I cashed out right before 2008 real estate crash.
Real quick, Chris, we'll stop right there. I want to explain to the audience what a 1031 exchange is, because not everyone here is in the real estate, and
Okay.
And I'll give a basic breakdown, and you can kind of fill in the gaps. But it's just basically when you sell a piece of property, guys, and you take that money, the proceeds from that sale, and you go buy a like type property. So if you're selling a single family house, you know, a 3-2, and you go buy another single family house, 3-2. Then you can 3 bedroom, 2 bath. You can take that money, buy your new house, and then you defer the taxes on that property. You don't have to pay taxes on that money. So that's why he's referring to this, because it's a tax saving strategy or tax deferral strategy on real estate specific only, which is really cool about this trust. This trust is kind of like a 1031 exchange across all assets, rather just real estate. It's great that real estate has that, and the tax code. The IRS loves to give real estate investors tax breaks because they want to encourage the masses to be real estate investors, because it helps the economy massively, right? Also, creating small businesses helps the economy, but this is why they give us those breaks. But they don't have these type of tools, 1031 exchange for crypto. So did I get that right, Chris? As far as 1031 exchange?
Yep. Yeah, it's only for investment property. But yeah, I like that comparison because this DeFi crypto, DeFi wealth trust essentially acts like a 1031 for anything.
Right.
So I'm also a registered investment advisor. So I have my license to sell securities, wife, 2 kids. I live in Reno. Used to live in California. Got tired of the bullshit there and left. And we like to, my partner and I like to say we're California refugees, and we help California refugees leave California and keep all their money. I've done 5, multi-million-dollar 1031 exchanges, and Carl and I are the 2 tax strategists in our company. All right, maybe you want to talk about Dane and yourself.
Yeah, Dane's my partner. He's my partner in crime with the DeFi Crypto Alliance. You guys know him. He streamed with me back in the day. He doesn't like streaming too much, so he doesn't get on camera that often. He's just more of an introvert than an extrovert. But we still work together on the business. We both met each other through real estate in a real estate mastermind about a little over a decade ago. And we were building similar real estate type businesses. We used to run very high level wholesale and fix and flip operations. And so we stayed friends because we were both scaling at the same kind of business. So we'd trade industry secrets and stuff. And we both got burnt out about the same time and decided to make the switch to crypto. And we both moved to Puerto Rico. That's where we live now. We both have kids and families, and it's been great. It's about to educate. What our specialty is, we educate real estate entrepreneurs, because that's the space that we came from, on how to do crypto the right way, the safe way, how to hold your own keys, not get scammed, how to do DeFi, how to transact in DeFi, how to build a portfolio that makes passive income, and that, have to have the right mindset for this stuff. There's not a lot of education out there, especially out there in the TradFi world or the real estate world. And we bring that to that space. And because we come from that space, that's who we are. We know a lot of people in that space. How we met Chris is a real estate syndication mastermind. It was apartment syndication mastermind. And then I met Dane from the wholesale mastermind. And so we've been on this journey together. It's been awesome. And we both kind of hung our hat up with the real estate stuff temporarily, just for the time being, because we want to focus on crypto, because we know this is the opportunity right now. We got to strike with the irons hot to be able to create that legacy wealth. And then we'll come back to real estate, down the road here, once we're, crypto is going to obviously go through a massive bear market after this next banana zone, or maybe we get 2 banana zones. Who knows? We'll see how the timing goes. But like, we're going to see another massive bear market. And that's a time we think that you could go into real estate, oil and gas, business and mergers, whatever your heart desires. It could be stocks and bonds if you want.
Hard money lending.
Yeah, hard money lending is a great option. I love hard money lending, but that's the whole strategy. That's our whole like thesis, right? That we build our business around, and we like to say, we have a saying that we want to use cryptocurrency as a wealth creation tool, and use real estate and other real world assets as a wealth preservation tool. And they're just tools, guys. Tools in the tool belt that we need to use and know how to use. There's a right tool for the right job. And that's what this DeFi Wealth Trust is too. So that's a little about Dane. And he's kind of in the background. You guys will see him at events once in a while. He still pops up. And then there's me. Same story. I like to tell people, entrepreneurship saved my life. When I got into the entrepreneurship world, I was a freaking raging alcoholic and drug addict. I was going nowhere fast but to my deathbed. And so like entrepreneurship really saved my life. It really did. And so I'm forever grateful for that. I like to always tell that story a little bit to everybody just because what it did for me. And I encourage everybody, if you don't have the entrepreneurship bone, or if you don't have a business or a side hustle, try it. Try it out and see if it's the right fit for you. See if you can, if it's something you want to do, because you can create serious wealth by being an entrepreneur. And then you could take that money. I say this on my show all the time. If you want to 10x your crypto portfolio in the bear market, go 10x the value you bring to your fellow community. 10x the value you bring your fellow man or fellow woman, and take that value, aka money, because you're going to receive that back for the value you bring, and you put that money into crypto and you 100x your effing life. That is the secret sauce to all this. So the guys who are like, you're just like working a 9 to 5 and you threw all your money in at the sacrifice and you're hoping and praying for 1,000x. I just got news for you. It's not the way to play the game. So the way to play, you got to keep dollar cost averaging in these lows. And how do you do that? You got to keep making more money, right? And hopefully a good amount of money. And being an entrepreneur is the way to do it. And it will also teach you a lot of for me, it made me grow up. I was just a reckless, like going nowhere. And the entrepreneurship made me level up spiritually, mentally, physically, financially. And it's just been a great journey. And I'm blessed to be on this journey. And I'm blessed to be on this journey now with all the Pulsakins and Hexakins and all you guys. I love you guys. You guys are the best damn crypto community around, period. I don't care what anyone says. And so that's a little bit more about me.
All right. And so together we partnered to create the trust. So I have to say this, our results aren't typical. Your results may vary. But who's this training for? Crypto investors that are trying to grow their wealth. They're tired of paying Uncle Sam taxes when they didn't need to, and they're looking to optimize their crypto gains. And we have a genuine desire, and you have a genuine desire to achieve financial freedom. Corey does say a lot in his particular show about, be the person that breaks the chains of mediocrity, and be the person that creates that financial future for you and your legacy. So who's it not for? If you're just wanting to get rich quick, anyone just wanting to learn something new, if you're not ready to take action, someone who's comfortable with the status quo, don't waste your time and ours.
And I want to throw in, Chris, you mentioned like buying Lambos earlier. Yeah, guys, if you're into this game to like cash everything out and go buy Lamborghinis and hookers and blow and maybe a mansion and a yacht and to like be cash broke afterwards, like this trust is not for you. Like this trust is for people who have long-term mindset, delayed gratification type mindset, people who are really passionate about creating legacy wealth. Because Chris is right. I do believe I'm the one in my family to break the chains of mediocrity, to break that curse for my family lineage, that 9 to 5 scam, the 401k scams. So forevermore that my family has legacy wealth to back them. There's always the one person in the very wealthy families that was the risk taker, the one to go out there and pave that road for their family lineage. I'm the one in my family that God appointed me to be that one. And you guys probably are too. It's probably why you're here. It's probably why you're in crypto. And so that's who this trust is for, though. I really want to solidify that. It's not for the guy who's like, I want to make a quick $1 million so I can buy the Lamborghini and travel the world, do a bunch of cocaine. And this is not for you, because you need to get that out of your system first. Go do like I get it, right? Like I did that too when I was first started making money. Like I was reckless, and you need to get that out of your system. This is for the person who is ready to take their life to the next level and preserve that wealth. That's what it's really for. So,
absolutely. So what we're going to go through is say, how do you pay zero taxes on the sale of your crypto? How do you buy other asset types with your crypto proceeds? And how do you buy back into crypto in the next cycle? And do all this without paying taxes. So how do I exit my crypto investment if I have to pay taxes on my crypto profits? Well, if you're a successful investor, so let's say you put 200K in, and then let's say you had $1 million out. So let's say you made $1 million profit. Well, if you're paying taxes on it, on average, people are going to pay about 29%. So essentially, anytime you're over about 500K in profit, you're going to have a 20% federal tax. You'll have the Obamacare tax, was the net investment income tax, 3.8% that pays for the medical services from Obamacare. Your state's going to have anywhere from 5% on the low end. Typically, on the high end, it's about 14.4%.
California.
That's California. That's if you make over 1.4 million. The next dollar you make is taxed at 14.4%. That's one of the reasons why I left California. It disincentivizes you to make money, actually. So you're going to lose about 29 or 30% of your profit right off the bat. If you put the money in the trust, you're not losing anything. So you're keeping all that money. There are some fees associated with it. But for example, let's say you had this 200K crypto investment, 800K profit. So your taxes would be about 232K. And then net, you'd have about 768,000. Well, with the trust, once you pay the fees to set up the trust, you've got 975,000. So which would you rather have, 768,000 or 975,000?
That's easy.
Yeah, easy math here. So, and then you can invest in just about anything. Like I was saying, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, alternatives, ETFs, real estate, businesses. You could set up your own hard money lending business. I've got a guy who's basically sold a ranch, and he went and took 25 million out of that ranch sale and put it into a oil and gas pipeline. And he's probably going to triple his money. But you can basically go into just about anything. So how can I diversify my crypto investment cash without paying taxes on it? Well, if we go back to this picture right here, and you've got this 975K now, you can basically take that money from the trust account. You can buy real estate. So let's say you took 775,000 and invested in real estate, and you kept another 200K that remained in the trust. Anything that's in the trust is going to be invested and generate an income, right? So, or let's say you bought a business for 500, you put $500,000 to get an incremental ownership in a business. Now, for the business, what's interesting is you can not just invest to buy the business, you can also take some money for operating capital. So I had a guy who sold public storage. He sold it for about 4 million. He took 1 million and basically put it into a business. He paid 800,000 for the business and kept the other 200,000 for operating capital for year one, because he was going to basically improve that business. So there's just so much you can do with this. It's just, if you can think about what you want to do, sit down and talk with me, and I'll tell you how to do it and pay no taxes.
You could use that, that money however you saw fit, then, to make sure the business is running the way it's supposed to run. And that could be like, hey, if I need to pay some rent or mortgage or need food on the table, I'm the one who's running the business. I don't know. So
yeah, exactly. He wanted to upgrade some of their equipment and get some extra employees because there was some problems in the process, and that's how he wanted to spend it, right? So you can basically spend it on for any investment purpose, and the income from that business or that real estate goes to you, not to the trust. So you can basically go invest in that real estate, let's say, take the income from it, and at some point in the future you decide to sell it, you can sell it back to the trust and still pay no tax.
Wow.
You can put it into crypto. Let's say you basically were just investing it in the stock market or real estate or whatever. You decided to then take 500K and go put it out for the next bull run a couple years from now. You can do that. So you can really do almost anything you want. And this whole process, you pay no taxes on those investments.
That's the best part.
Yeah, the key thing is you can't do a self-enriching transaction. So if you're buying a primary residence with money from the trust, you would have to pay the tax on that because you're going to live in that house. Or if you go buy, the Lamborghini or a motorhome or something and use it personally, then that's not a business investment. It's a
What if you bought the business? What if you bought a business, in that business you bought the Lamborghini under the business LLC or the business?
The IRS will not allow that. They're onto that.
Okay.
Now, and it depends. So if your business is selling Lamborghinis and you buy
that makes sense.
sell it, then you can buy it. And if you drove it for a while you the business was, you're going to car shows or whatever, then that's
what if I wrap the car in my business name, like the DeFi Wealth Trust? I got the Pulse symbol on there, and I'm driving this car around, and people are asking me what this is about. I'm explaining, it's kind of business related.
So you can basically the paint job and stuff like that. You can do a write off to the business.
Okay.
Of the car, you'd still have to pay tax on to get.
You're poking holes in all my.
Yeah,
you're popping all my bubbles, Chris.
Yeah. Well, the IRS is onto that one. Now, if your business is actually selling Lamborghinis, right, then that's a different deal.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so how do I sell my investments and reinvest into crypto without paying taxes? Well, I kind of showed you. So let's say you have that 970K and you basically invest it in real estate. And let's say you put 775,000 into real estate, you keep 200,000 in the trust. Then you basically sell that real estate. And then basically when you sell it, you decide that instead of me taking some of that profit, I'm going to put the whole thing back into the trust. Well, then all of that profit from the sale of the real estate is also tax deferred. The income from the real estate would go to that LLC and would be income to that LLC and therefore to you, because an LLC is a pass-through. But when you sell the property, you can actually put it back in the trust, pay no taxes. And then let's say you bought it for 775 and a couple of years later you sold it for $1 million. So now you got 1.2 million in the trust. And then you can basically take some of that and go back into crypto. And let's say you take the 500K and go put it into crypto and you keep the other 700K in the trust in other investments. So now you're diversifying your investments, right? And so you can then afford to wait for the next bull with crypto, only you'll be going in with 500K instead of whatever you went in with before.
It's great.
And this is just one of thousands of ways you can do this. It's very, very flexible. So are you excited yet?
We're excited.
I love this picture. That kid's great. So what happens when you sell your crypto today? Well, you're going to take about 29% of it and pay it in taxes. If you set up basically a trust, you're not going to pay anything in taxes. There's some fees depending on how much money is in the trust. There is a setup fee that's about 1.5% or less. Those are the costs to set up the trust. We could go into more detail about that if we basically have a meeting to talk about it. But basically, what do you get if you set up this trust? You get a $0 tax bill on your investment account. You can move between asset types. You can still participate in DeFi. We are investment advisors with 40 different money managers, 21 different insurance companies, hundreds of different alternatives. So we can basically put together an investment portfolio for that money. And then in addition, Dane and Courtney have a community which basically goes into tons of different alternative investments and deal flow. The idea is that they would go vet the good stuff so you guys don't have to learn the hard way.
Yeah, and I'll talk a little about that, or talk to that. As guys, we have a community about 300 members of real estate investors, business and merger guys, oil and gas guys in our community, and they all have deals, and they're all bringing deals to the table all the time. And you guys would have exposure in those deals if you wanted it. We'd let you know which ones are good. Obviously, you're still going to make your own financial decisions, which ones to go into, but at least you'd have the information, and you can do all this while you're in the trust. So this is a great, like I said, once again, wealth preservation strategy after you've made money in the bull run, right? And you can come into these real estate deals, maximize your returns, and then come back and buy the Bitcoin bottom when it bottoms again. And all you got to worry about is those nominal fees. There is some fee there yearly, but it's not very much. It's not close, even a fraction of what you'd be paying if you were paying those 3-letter agencies. Not even close. So it's a great strategy. Come in, and then you can get some exposure to some good deals too.
All right. So this is our link to book an appointment. Basically, talk it through for your situation. Go determine what's best for you. Again, our company, we're all about education first, and then making sure that you understand this process and how it works, and to make sure, frankly, that it's the right thing for you. The last thing we want to do is put somebody into a solution that they don't understand, and then later they're regretting it. So we have a complimentary consultation. You can use this QR code or the link below.
Yeah, it's free, guys. So, I mean, book a call with Chris to see if it's the right tool for you. There's a tool for everybody. Right? You want to see if this is the right fit for you. Book a call. It's free. Also, it's free to set the trust up. So you can have this thing set up, waiting for you on your behalf for when you go to sell. And then you only start paying fees when you start using the trust, when you initiate the trust and it starts doing the work for you. So you can do all this for free. There's no risk. So why not do it if you're serious about legacy wealth, if you're serious about being the one in your family to change the trajectory of your family tree? Like, I'm the one of my family. I feel like I'm the one. Plus, also, we want to make sure we have the foundation laid out, because what's life all about? It's about creating memories and experiences with our loved ones. And we need two things for that. We need our health, which you guys know I'm passionate about. I talk about on my show all the time. And we need wealth, right? And I'm talking about long-term wealth, not like, hey, $1 million tomorrow, so I go buy a Lamborghini and do a bunch of hooker blows. No, that's not long-term wealth. That's short-term wealth. Get out of your system and then get serious about your wealth. And then that's what life's all about. And you need those two things to create many memories and experiences with your loved ones. And that's what I feel like we not only leave behind when we go to the afterlife, but we also take with us. So this is one of the tools that you're going to need for your wealth preservation journey. So book the call. It's free, no risk. I mean, what all you got to lose? So,
yep, we're more than happy to talk to you.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it so much, man. And guys, I will see you on the DeFi Crypto Live show. Let us know if you have any questions over there. I'm always on, and I'll see you there.
Have a good rest of your day.